from $20,000 in 1 month from emails all the way up to $141,000 in 1 month, considering this is 40% of the total brand's revenue. This is what we're going to cover today. You're going to learn everything you need to know to implement this yourself in your brand. We're going to show you everything we worked on for this client and how we achieved these results. So stay tuned to the end of this video, because this is not about any miraculous flow or any crazy pop-up thing. We'll cover every inch of your Klaviyo account, okay? So stay tuned till the end of the video. As usual, here you have some quick links to my socials. So if you want to check my Instagram, I post there several times a week. Copywriting, design, conversions, email campaigns, email flows, deliverability, you name it. My Twitter as well, and our website in case you want our help to make sure you get these results as soon as possible. So for context here, we're talking about a direct-to-consumer e-commerce brand. In this case, the website traffic was being generated through ads, mostly Meta ads and also Google ads, but with very low spending. So the big chunk was coming from Meta ads, and the audience in case was mostly men between the ages of 25 to 55 years old. And the average order value was around $120. So before, the email revenue, as you saw here from this screenshot, was around 13% of the total brand's revenue, pretty low. And in terms of setup, what we had was only 3 flows, a welcome flow, a checkout abandon, and a post-purchase flow. So this was just a one-time setup done by a freelancer in the past, and this is a very common thing across many e-commerce brands, so keep this in mind. Because considering things were done this way, there was no testing or optimization whatsoever. And in terms of campaigns, they were just sending one campaign every 2 weeks. So that means 2 campaigns per month, which is very low. And with the pop-up form, the scenario was not great as well. The pop-up form they had was converting at a 2%, so very low as well. So what was the big problem here? Obviously, the main one was the email results being far from optimal. You want to aim for way higher than what they were getting. And considering this, there was no foundation to scale with ads. The owner wanted to invest more and ramp up the ad spend on Facebook and starting to grow a little bit on Google as well. And they had no foundation to start doing it, because you really need to have a great backend system to give a good foundation to scale with paid advertising, because you want to make sure you're decreasing as much as you can your cost per acquisition. And with a good backend system, you end up increasing your ROAS. Even if you're not converting people straight away, you have a way higher chance of converting them later down the line. And you also increasing the long-term value of your customers, because this is the game that you want to aim to play in the future. This is why most of your competitors might be outspending you on paid advertising, and you don't know how, because they're playing a different game. They focus on extracting the most out of each customer, and as a consequence, they can afford lower and lower ROAS. Now let's go over our plan. We decided to start with the pop-up optimization, so go over their form, and then we would go over the flows, change the current ones, and add the missing ones. After we had the flows done, we would go over the list segmentation, keeping it very basic just so we were viable to start sending out campaigns. And then we could focus on starting out with our campaigns and sending 3 to 4 per week. What we did and why we did it. Let's start with the pop-up, which is the first thing you should focus on. Because even if we just change this, the revenue would still grow. You have to think about it as a multiplier. You're amplifying the results of all of your work. So think about it as you increasing your ad spend, okay? But this time, you know for a fact that your ROAS will still be the same. Just think about it for a second. How great would that be? So I put a table here just so we can go over the math behind it, just so you understand how important this is. So we have the previous form and the optimized form. In terms of audience, obviously is the same, coming from ads. The website visitors were around 60,000. The first pop-up was just converting at a 2%, and once we changed it, this was converting at a 6%, which is actually very good. In terms of new subscribers, considering the 60,000 people opting in every month, with this pop-up form, we only had 1,200, and with the new one, we had 3,600. So with the same average order value of $120, and considering the same conversion rate of the welcome flow at 8%, the scenario here would be 11,000 in revenue just for the welcome flow, and in this case, 34,000. Here, only with the revenue from the welcome flow, we can see already a difference of $23,000 per month. Okay, per month. Keep this in mind. And if you want to have all the details to create a great pop-up form and know how to split test along the way to make sure it is 100% optimized, you have here my YouTube video. I'll go over everything you need to know, so check it out. This document will be in the description, so you'll have access to all of these. Then we go over to flows. So in terms of flows, we upgraded the existing one. So before we had 3 flows, all of them like 3 emails long and with emails not optimized for conversion. So after we made sure each flow had between 6 to 8 emails long and they were optimized for conversion. So in terms of designing, because sometimes you need to focus your emails on direct conversion, straight up conversion. You don't want to be beating around the bush. And with other emails, you want to focus on objection handling, building trust. So we built everything around these principles. Then we added the remaining flows that were missing. So cart abandon, browse abandon, site abandon, win back, VIP, and sunset. And keep in mind that what we had before was checkout abandon and not cart abandon. They're 2 different things. Okay. I also have videos covering everything you need to know on this flow, so make sure you check them out. These are just some of them. Okay. So let's go over list segmentation now. So for list segmentation, we focused on the basics just so we made sure we were ready to start sending out campaigns consistently. So we created the engaged segments. The engaged segments should be the default audience for your email campaigns. Okay, so let's consider, for example, the engaged 30, just so you understand. The engaged 30 corresponds to people who have opened or clicked one of your emails in the last 30 days. Okay, this should be your default audience. You can choose between engaged 30 days, engaged 60 days, 90 days, this depending on the state of your deliverability. So I also have a video on segmentation. You can check it out and you'll know everything you need to know on it. Other than that, we also created a suppressed segment just so we could keep our list clean, and we saved on Klaviyo bill just because Klaviyo will bill you considering all of the profiles inside of your account. So you want to suppress bad profiles because you won't be needing them. And to finish, we also created unengaged segments. So unengaged segments are actually the opposite of engaged segments. So these are people who didn't click or open any of your emails in the last, let's say, 30 days. Okay. So why do we need these unengaged segments? We need these unengaged segments to send out re-engagement campaigns, because in this case, this client had a very high percentage of unengaged profiles because they were not sending that much campaigns. So we wanted to increase our engaged segments. So we wanted to transition some of the profiles within the unengaged segments to the engaged segments. So we wanted them to engage somehow with our emails once again. That's why we need to send these re-engagement campaigns. And to finish, we went over our email campaigns. So we built the content calendar. We established that we were going to be sending 3 to 4 campaigns per week of useful content. So guides, insights, product details, reviews. So once again, make sure you send out very, very good content for your customers, not for yourself. Okay. And we also decided that we were going to be sending 1 promotional email per month. Then we started sending. Keep this in mind, we ramped up the volume just because they were sending 2 emails per month before. So we ramped up the volume all the way up to 3 to 4 per week. And a couple of weeks later, we sent our first re-engagement campaign, once again, just to make sure we were not compromising our deliverability, because in these cases, we're sending to unengaged people. So we have to be very cautious to make sure we're not damaging our deliverability. And this is how you can achieve results like these. So keep in mind, this is sorted by the open rate. So this will not be always like this, but this is just to show you that you can aim for being consistently above 50% open rates, and you can still aim higher and higher. And just before you go, if you want to add 50K to the 150K to your MRR in the next 60 days, I would like to offer you a free audit of your Klaviyo account, zero, and I repeat, zero strings attached. I have a video explaining everything, but worst case scenario, you will live with a complete roadmap for you on your team to execute on it and get the same results. So here you have the roadmap that you need to follow to get these results. But if we have access to your Klaviyo account, obviously we'll be able to tell you what levers to pull specifically considering your case. So feel free to book a call here. Here you have my Calendly link. And if you need to check our website, you have it right here. Once again, the document is in the description. So I hope you like it, and I'll see you in the next time.